going to just vary a little bit from what we presented this morning to try to get all of you to attend the presentation this afternoon at 5:45 with Casio and I. And we're going to be doing the Latin America scenario, which ties very directly to the keynote this morning, since we're tying the Latin America scenario to the nexus, which you'll see in a minute. But I know that you all love numbers, and Peter gave you 134 billion, was it? Next year, 2013. And the numbers you see in front of you are the Gartner Q3 estimates, so they're still warm. They were just hot off the press, I think actually about 2 weeks ago. And these numbers are Latin America. Now there's something very profound here. Peter said 134 billion in 2013. If you look at the numbers over here, you have 298 at the end of 2012. That will break 300 for Latin America by the end of 2013. And Brazil is getting close to half of the IT spending in Latin America. And that's about, what, 45%, I would say, which is profound, that we are approaching half the spending in Latin America. You'll also notice that Latin America has maintained its position as second only to Asia Pacific in growth, okay, and size. And the thing that's most profound is that at the end of this year, which is coming up soon, we will be at about 29% of the US spending total in IT. And by 2016, we will be 31%. That is 1/3 the size of the United States for IT spend, coming out of primarily Brazil and Mexico, with Colombia, Chile, Argentina behind, obviously, Mexico and the United States and Brazil. Okay, every year we give you the results of our CIO survey. This was done, and I want to emphasize, this was done in November and December of last year. This is the 2012 results, which were, the survey goes out in the November timeframe, October, November, December timeframe, 2011. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. If you have questions, Casio and I can answer them about the business priorities. But you'll notice the business priorities for Latin America and global are again aligned, which is important. Latin America is very close to being the same as the rest of the world, instead of totally different as we were about 8 or 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And in fact, even the top three, 2 of the top 3 are the same as in the global. Okay, increasing enterprise growth and attracting and retaining new customers. And of course, when you look at the Focus lead, or Focus Connect lead, the Connect is with customers, with your clients, and with your employees also. And again, in line with the business priorities in Latin America. Okay. For the CIO strategies, they're identical to the global top 3. Delivering business solutions, reducing the cost of IT, not surprising with a looming economic situation hanging over our heads globally. I believe the GDP for Brazil, which we're going to be presenting later on this afternoon, is now cut to less than 2.1% for 2012. I don't know that Montega has gone along with us yet. He's still saying 4, okay, but it seems the rest of the world is saying 1.8 to 2.1 for 2012. Rebounding in 2013, by the way, to 3.6, I want to say, something like that, okay? And we'll have that this afternoon. But what I want to get to is the technology one, and let me push the button. I hope. Oh, it's building. Never mind. Sorry. Okay. Analytics and business intelligence has returned to number 1. If you'll remember, that one was number 1 for number 1 or 2 actually, for 6 years in Latin America. Last year, it fell to number 5. And that was because IT management technologies, if you remember, managing IT with applications, had popped up as number 1 in Latin America, which was really unusual. Well, I'm not saying it's not important, but it was surprising to me that we understood it was, anyone understood it was that important, because it is. Okay. Now, Business intelligence has rebounded to #1. The first question you have to ask yourself is, what are the IT departments doing wrong? How can you have something, a #1 priority for a CIO, for 7 years now, and not get anything done? It's kind of surprising. I would say that it has to do with the new tools, all of the new processes, and the new ways that we're managing the data that we have, which Peter referred to this morning in the presentation as dark data, okay? And with the new forms of information that we're able to collect from social, from operational technologies, like smart metering and telephone systems and all of that. The data is increasing, the tools to analyze it's increasing, and we're always changing the ways that we can do the analysis and what business analytics means to us, okay? Cloud computing clearly is #2. Mobile technologies is #3. You see something interesting here? It's interesting. The nexus of forces is information, cloud, mobile, okay? Social is the only thing that's missing, and collaboration technologies is here. But in the top 3, what's important to CIOs globally and in Latin America is 3 of the 4 nexus forces. What's really most important, and what Peter mentioned, what we mentioned this morning, is bringing together all 4 of the nexus forces to work together for you and for the internally and externally to your organization. Now, Cassio and I this afternoon will be talking first about what is important to Latin America for IT. We'll be talking about what's important to the CIOs in Latin America, the slides we just looked at. And then finally, we'll be looking at the technologies that fit with the nexus of forces in Latin America. So we've broken the presentation up to be social, mobile, cloud, and information. Looking at those technologies and how they will affect Latin America. Okay? And now I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Alan. Eu vou focar a minha